Good evening, everyone. Nice to see friendly faces. First time here, guys? Welcome. Welcome. Hope you come many more times. So, today we're going to talk about desire. And what is desire in the material way, and what is desire in the spiritual way? What is the difference in between those? And who wants that? It's not about consumerism, it's not about ambition. It's a question of identity. So we often say, I want this, I want my job, I want a car, I want this, I want that. And normally, one is not equal to have it or to get it. And sometimes we get really distressed or disappointed because we wanted so much and didn't come. And I don't know how many of you just heard, well, probably was not your time, or probably you'll be better without that than with. And of course, didn't get too convinced with that. It was just like, yeah, you're just saying because you want to put some, cover my pain or something like that. But in the way, Spiritism doesn't teach us to kill our desires. It teaches us to listen to them with discernment. In the beginning of this month, we have a talk about discernment. And because what we desires can bother us is when our desire, when something that we want is kind of hard or really somehow bother us, it's mostly our soul asking something to us. And of course, when our spirit asks something from us, it will not be an easy task. It will not be just, Joe, go and get some water and come back here. No, it's going to be something that will change us in some aspect. We'll take a little bit of hard work. We'll take a little bit of expanding our comfort zone, per se. And normally, we don't like it too much, right? The picture here, it's on purpose. So, Vincent, would you take this that part out in terms of lights? Thank you. As we are in Orlando, and Orlando is known by Disney, right? We know that this picture here triggers the imagination of blowing pixie dust. And when you think about pixie dust, what Disney say? You have to do what? You had to wish for. And when you wish for and they blow some pixie dust over you, that is one more component that we always forget what it is that will make us fly. Happy thoughts. Without positivity, we're not going to go anywhere. So, again, when we want something, we want in the form of pixie dust. But life gives us another version of pixie dust. And sometimes it's not that colorful, but it will require happy thoughts. It will require faith, a leap of faith. The last talk that I gave here, I talked about the silver lining. It will require a focus from us to look at the silver lining right behind a dark cloud. Because sometimes the dark cloud is not an issue. It's an invitation of seeing what is behind that. So, Emmanuel said, desire is the voice of spirit seeking liberation from the temporary. What is the temporary? This, right? Our flesh is temporary. It's not going to last forever. You can have as much money as you want. You're not going to last that much. So desire is a liberation. Is thinking over your material life. But we were taught to fear desire. And then comes Spiritism and tell that desire is not a villain. Desire is a compass. The real question is, what do you want? What it will make you once you get it? I normally used to say that when I meet somebody, I want to make them feel different after we talk. I want them to feel happier if I can. So what is your desire? Why I have this such desire? Because I want them to feel good. If I can touch one single person today, this lecture did the job. If I touch more, awesome. But just one, because that's the thing. We cannot touch everybody at the same time. Don't even try. You're gonna disappoint yourself. You're gonna end up frustrated. But if you have the power of making somebody see the world differently, one person, you're doing your job. You are searching, you are listening to your will, you're listening to your desire. Because we are here to be better, right? Spirit's book. Why are we incarnated? To evolve. And there's no way all the way to evolve without doing better for our peers, for the human nation that is around us. So every time you do better, you feel better. Have you ever tried this? When you are like sad or lack of energy, and then you choose somebody that is worse than you, and you pay them a compliment, it looks like you come back refilled. You just change the energy. You change the energy with the energy that comes from your voice that reaches the person that is fainting or with lack of energy, and that comes back to you. But you don't do that on purpose. But the desire of making that better, the other better, comes back to you as well. This is the law of nature. This is physics, right? Quantum physics. Chuan is the beginning of the path, but it's not the end. I used to play that vision without action equals hallucination. There's a lot of hallucinated people around because they just have the vision, but they don't put in action the words in action. They don't walk the talk. Yes, it's great to be in a spiritual center, to be talking about good things. But if you don't do that, you're just like trying to read the menu and get your belly full just by reading the menu. It's not going to work, right? You have to order and you have to eat. And sometimes what we desire is probably not the best for our digestive system by the time that we order that. But anyways, we go ahead and order that, right? And we pay. That's how it works. It's action and reaction. That's not different. So, what do you really want? When you come here, what do you really want? That's the hidden architecture of desire. Sometimes we crave what distracts us and resist what heals us. Sometimes our choices are not the best, but even though we do that, and I did that, and the only person that saw that today at my home was my great friend Holger. But I'm gonna release to you. I'm diabetic, and today I ate a piece of pizza that was like full of sugar. He looked at me and said, "Don't do it," and I did. You know, I did. Guilty as charged. Of course. Of course. Again, there's no right or wrong, but that's the consequence of doing this, right? So for me, it's going to be like, I don't know how many more weeks not eating sugar at all. But that's what I did. Why did I do it? I don't know, because there's such many sugar the other days. This is an excuse. This is a brain excuse for something that you know that you shouldn't do it. But I use it myself because I know that you guys don't do that. It's just me. Not every desire is vanity. Some longings are born from the soul. And those are the ones that are really grabs us and make us progress and look further and work harder. Your current longings are not mistakes. They are messages. The problem is not desiring, but not listening to what the desire is trying to teach. Desire is not wrong, but what is the invitation that desire brings? It's just like, who here like problems? Raise your hand. Who here like problems? Raise your hand. I have 2. I have 3, 4, 5. Not everybody like problems, right? It's just because we put a wardrobe over the word problem that looks like bad thing. Well, yeah. We will not gonna have any jobs if there's not any problems. We are not gonna have any money if there's not any problems. So, problem is the worst way to tell the word opportunity. If you translate that, if you understand that a problem is your opportunity of doing something differently, then you are running to something different in your life. Then you are listening to what your desire is trying to teach you. Because sometimes, like for me, what was that? Well, I still have this fat person inside of me. Although I know I cannot eat too much sugar, he's still there. And when I give him some, freedom, he'll try to take over me. No, I'm not excusing myself. I'm just saying as an example. What you desire reflects who you're already becoming. So if your desires are strictly material desires, that's what you're becoming, a material person. Is that right or wrong? Neither. It's what you are. It's what you're looking for. It's what you head into. We are in a planet that is under the law of action and reaction, right? So whatever you do is going to have a consequence. And that's what brought me to Spiritism when I was 18, because I was tired to go to places that tell me, do this or that, do this or that. And then Spiritism said, well, yes, you can do that. The consequences will come. I'm not going to burn in hell. No. The consequences will be directly with the same force as what you did to get that. So if I'm diabetic today, I ate too much sugar, period. My system didn't process, period. That's what it is. Am I going to blame Will or Dilma that cooks like crazy? It's your fault, Dilma. It's all your fault. I don't care. I'm not guilty. I'm just a victim of the system, right? Don't we like to disguise ourselves like that? Yes, we do. But Spiritism is here to tell that we are better than that. We have a better focus and a better way to understand things. So next time somebody talk about a problem, just see an opportunity, which is disguised as a problem. The paradox of wanting. Normally we pray for a door to open, and if it's not the right door, what's going to happen? Spirit's going to close 5 more, not just 1. Because it's not yet your time. And this detour is not going to make you learn what you need to learn. Am I telling you, love your problems? Like last week who was here, the speaker told us that he hurt his arm, or his shoulder, right? just doing some exercises, and the prayer in the morning, he couldn't thank God for that problem. He thought about it, but he said, "No, I'm not going to thank God for my injured arm. I'm not that elevated. I'm not that spiritual elevated to thank God. But I'm getting there. At least I have the thought. At least I have the thought, because if he was doing something wrong and keep on doing, it could be something else, right? Have you ever heard about somebody telling that they missed the plane, that they would close the deal of their lives, and the plane just fall? So it was not his time. But until he understand, or he see in the media that the plane falls and everybody die, he was like, "Oh, I don't have luck. Why me?" So every time you ask, "Why me?" I offer you another question. Why not you? Because when you say, "Why me?" you say, "Oh, it can be my neighbor, it can be my mother-in-law, it can be whoever, but not me." Why you? Because it's happening to you. That's the lesson that you need to learn, not anybody else. It's coming for you. God doesn't give us what we ask for. He gives us what we need to evolve, which is the main frame of us being in this planet. Right? We were not, like they said in the beginning of the spirit life, we are ignorant, and we're not ignorant anymore. We've been living for many, many lives, and we collect good things and bad things. And if you want to know if you collect more good things than bad things, think about the planet that you were living in. We're the first to the last planet on evolution. So that means that, my friends, you, me, the media guy, whoever's in the passes, are not good. We're trying to get better, but we're not, as the spirits, we're not like, angels, not even close. And we're here because we need to purge something that we did. Do you know what we are here to purge? No, neither do I. And that's the beauty of it. Because if we know everything that we were planned to come and do it, what is the purpose? What is the merit of that? No. So you forget when you incarnate, but still, we are trying, right? Thursday night, you can do anything else, even stay at home, but you guys are here. You're trying to learn, trying to look to yourselves. And again, Spiritism is just like what we said. It's just like the menu. You're not going to get full just by reading it. If you don't apply it to your daily lives, you will never know if it works or not. Pain is often the loving answer to the misguided desire. This is another synonym for another definition for pain, right? Because normally when we talk about pain, we understand that without pain, we're not gonna go from point A to point B. Because if it doesn't hurt, we're gonna stay stationary. Everything is cool. I'm not feeling any urge. But if the pain comes, we need to get up and move. So now Emmanuel is telling us that pain is often the loving answer to a misguided desire. When you want something and it's misguided, it's not what you need, you're not going to get it. And what you get instead is pain, frustration. You get upset. But it will make you redraw your path. And if you do that, maybe you're going to get way better than you thought. We don't know. Media? Hey, my friend. Let me try it again. Just a tad louder. A little bit. Thank you.
Who would like this $20 bill?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to give it to one of you, but first, let me do this. Okay, now, who still wants it?
I do.
What if I do this? Now, who wants it now? My dear students, I've just showed you a very important lesson. No matter what I did with this money, you still wanted it because it never lost its worth. It's still worth $20. Well, there are many times in our lives when we feel like life has crumbled us up and ground us into the dirt. We may make some bad decisions or have to deal with some poor circumstances. And sometimes our lives can make us feel worthless. But no matter what has happened, no matter what will happen, you never lose your worth. You never lose your value. Don't ever forget that.
Oops. We did it again, right? Yeah. Normally we forget our value because we don't treat people with their own value, or we desire to be better than we are. How many times you thought about yourself, as we say here, a big L, because you didn't get the promotion, you couldn't get the money for the car, you couldn't get this or that? Did you change because of that? Your value, what you're worth, changed because you couldn't get something material? It didn't, right? But that's how we feel. Why? Why don't we understand our real value and try to get better? Because that's our plan, isn't it? Isn't it? Thank you. So, Luciana last week did a quiz with a picture. I'm not going to do that again. But I'm going to ask you, think about the Bible. Think about the lessons that we heard. Who is the man who prayed for promotion and was set free through loss? I'm going to give you a tip that will reveal right off the bat. He was going to Damascus. That was Saul before he became Paul. He was Saul, but he was promoted to be Paul. One of the apostles that contributes so much for what we have now. But he was the golden boy of the Sanhedrin. He was going to persecute Jesus' lovers at Damascus. And he fell off the horse. And we discussed that in previous lectures, and probably you guys that were here probably remember that. And that's so much metaphors on this episode that it's crazy. Like falling off the horse is like, what is the horse? It's who you think you are. And falling off is just, yes, you're nothing like this. You were zero like this. And then he saw the light and he got blind, because when you push something, with every one of us, believe it or not, we see so many wrong things in this world. Every one of us has good inside. Even when you look, say, no, this person cannot have anything good. He or she does. But it's hidden. And what Paul was doing was pushing Jesus so strongly that when he came back, he came with the same strength. Boom. Put him down and gave him temporary blind. Why? He needs to think. He needs to mature. He needs to understand. What is our blindness? What seems like loss is often gain for the awakened soul. The time that he was like digesting that nobody, because he started talking about Jesus, right? He started talking about the very thing that he was against. So everybody that knew him and was rich in Damascus didn't open the doors to get him when he was wounded. And he ended up in the end by himself, because even the guys that were with him were afraid to stay with him, because he was telling crazy things against the Roman Empire, against the Sanhedrin. So I'm not going to stay on his side, because I'm going to get penalized just to be with him. So he was by himself. And this time that he was with himself, not seeing anything in front of him, was the time that he really discovered that the promotion was right there. Because it's not, Jesus said, my reign is not of this world. Our reign is not of this world. We are here to learn. Do we need to make money? Do we need to eat? Do we need to have things? Yes, we do. To what extent? Where the desire goes, cross the thin line in between what you need and what is excessive. It's up to every one of us, but again, we always have our Jiminy Cricket, per se, telling us if it's right or wrong. Those who only wish to rise in the world sometimes need to fail into themselves. That is really deep. If you want to be somebody, if you want to be so, important for the men, you are lacking something for yourself. You're lacking some respect, because you need to do some things that you know that are not right. And you do it just because you want to be the man. You want to be that important. You want to get to that position. We've seen that, right? Of course, politics is number one for us, but there's so many other realms that we see that happening. And again, what Paul also was praying to his gods? To get more power than he had by the time, by imprisoning Ananias, right? That was the one that he was looking for after. His prayer was not answered, right? Did he become something worse? Maybe for the ones that was seeing the word in a crooked way, but for him was really a promotion. So, what is wanting versus needed? It's more like ego versus soul, right? The soul wisdom is not suppressing the will, but in refine the will. Evolution is not a denial. Evolution is an alignment. What are you going to align yourself with? What is our role model? Please don't answer everybody at the same time. I cannot hear you. Who? Jesus. But can you align yourself with Jesus in a way that we understand alignment? Probably not, right? You're going to feel like so far from. What if we understand that we're not even close to that? But he left some steps. He left a guidebook, right? We can baby steps to some of those teachings. Are we trying to align by doing that? So again, desire. We have the desire to start today and tomorrow be Buddha. It's not going to happen. Maybe in multiple lives, but it's not going to happen in this incarnation. What can you do to better yourself? That's the real desire. Don't try to get ahead of yourself. It didn't work for anybody. What will work for us? It won't work for us. Will is the lever of the soul in the field of time. But of course, we have to have the will. Not you, will. We have will here, but in a different form. We have to have will. Because where there's will, there's a way, they say, right? It's just a matter of using the will in the right direction. Focus is something that is what you focus in, everything on the side disappear. So if you focus in doing something, make sure that you are responding to your inner desires as well. Not just what is great for my retirement, what is great for me as a person. What is great for me as a soul, as an immortal soul. We don't think too much about ourselves as an immortal soul. And if you think like 30 minutes of the day, probably it's that much, right? Can you say that you dedicate 30 minutes of your day to your immortal soul? Don't need to raise your hands. Just think. And what's 30 minutes against 24? But we're so busy. We have other desires that we need to accomplish. So the invitation is try to stay for 30 minutes, even if it's a prayer in the morning, a prayer at night, a prayer in the middle of the day. Try to stay connected as much as you can, because then you have a different purpose to follow. And then your desire will be shaped by this purpose. Are you guys with me so far? If you don't agree, please come and just jump in, okay? This is not a monologue, please. The spirit evolves when it learns to desire the essential. What is the essential for the spirit? As you guys know. Moral progress. Right? Is that what you said? Whatever. What else? Come on, Will. You get in there, man. Come on. Bring it on. Enlightenment. Whatever you think that is essential for the spirit, not for the body, it's involved in your evolution. So, when you learn to desire what is essential for your spiritual evolution, then your desire is heading towards a good path. But we have this guy, dopamine, right? The neurotransmitter, the substance that is released in our brain when we predict something good, and is highly addictive. And that's why people get addicted to booze, to gamble, to drugs, to women, to whatever. Because dopamine is highly addictive. So, but creates an illusion. But from any illusion, that is awakening. Sometimes it's hard to awake. Sometimes it's painful to do it. But it's always there. Dopamine rewards what's easy. I'm going to say it again. Dopamine rewards what is easy. The spirit rewards what is meaningful. Easy, meaningful. Are those the same in the same weight? Are those easy enough? No. The danger isn't in wanting. It's setting for crumbs when we were made for light. And that is a metaphor that if you don't remember anything from this lecture, I want you to save in your hearts. We're not setting for crumbs. We're not setting for dopamine. We're not setting for material. We're setting for light. That will help when the task seems to be too harsh to take. The habit of desire, the superfluous, keeps the spirit on the edge of itself. Why? I'm trying to reason with you guys. Come on, bring it on, bring it on. There's no right or wrong. Come again? Have no meaning? Yeah. If you got too much things, what do you have in the end? A bunch of material things that are gonna break down, or what is too much? Do you guys remember that I asked you guys if you wanna win the lotto? Remember that? And a bunch of you just raised their hands, and then I said, so let's start with the basics. Who plays lotto? Then less than 50% keep the hands up. So I just introduced the vision of Albert Einstein about what is insanity. Because if you think about winning the lotto and not playing, you're closer to the category of being insane. But again, if you're thinking about being a millionaire or winning the lotto, how much is enough for you to have a good life? We normally don't think about this. How much is enough? It's $1 million? It's 2 million? It's 500,000? Because if you do have the number, and if you do have a 401k, if you do have some money in the bank, just do the math. How much do you have and how much to get there? And just do the plan, so you don't need to win the lotto. You have to have a plan. Spiritually, it's the same. You don't need to have a mysterious guru that will teach you the ways of the Spirit, and you're going to be in light forever. Catholic Church tried that in the past, selling pieces of heaven for the ones that believe that they could buy. That doesn't work like this. So, what you're looking for to accomplish until the end of this life? What are you doing now? How much of that do you have? And how much do you need? And what? Just plan accordingly. You will get it. And the satisfaction that we have once you know that at least you have a plan. You're not just like sailing without just catching the wind when it comes. It's amazing. And I know that you guys, by being here, by coming in here every Thursday, try to get your own plan. But I understand that repetition is the mother of skills. So this is just a repetition of what you guys know so far. Learn to discern between what excites and what elevates. Another clue, right? For the ones that don't know who Joanna De Angelis is, it's a spirit that normally she's not too much that easy as this sentence. Normally she goes straight hard on her sentences. But this one is very, encouraging. So learn to discern between what excites and what elevates. Normally what excites is more like temporary. What elevates is more like forever, is something that you accrue to yourself. Because the child wants candy, the spirit wants growth. My child still wants candy. My spirit said, yeah, you did it again. That's what it is. It's eternal battle. Immediate pleasure is the currency of illusion. Whoa. Didn't I tell you that vision without action equals illusion? Yeah. And the currency of illusion is immediate pleasure. It's going to fade. How many times you heard tales of people that make a lot of money and they had a lot of friends and all of a sudden they lost everything and there were no friends around? That's it. Nothing immediate will reward us, because what we have for good, we have to accrue. And accrue is a process. That is, just referring to Lotto again, that is research that says that from the 90% or no, 70% of the people that won Lotto, In 7 years, they lost everything that they won. But unfortunately, it was not just what they won, was what they had before they won. Because they were not prepared for that. The terrain was not prepared for that luck. And they didn't, and they act with immediate pleasure. And all of a sudden, it disappeared. Desire with awakened heart and enlightenment in mind. Desire with awakened heart. Say, listen to your heart. Listen, because your heart will tell you. We talk too much about gut feeling. It is true. And it's true in so many ways, including in science. We had 33 senses, guys. 28 are subconscious. Come from your body, come from your heart, doesn't come from your brain. And they dictate our decisions, our wishes. This is science, pure science. Desire with an awakened heart and enlightened mind. Because then the heart will send the need, the emotion, and the mind, the enlightened mind will process in the right way. In the end, you have to work mens sana in corpore sano, correct? Or, in this sense, the other way around. So, what are you really wanting? What are you really wanting? That this lecture ends? Oh, just had 2 more hours, guys. Come on. What? No, see, if it's 3 hours, the last one, he's going to partner with me. Thank you, Vincent. You're so supportive, man. Inner silence reveals the desire of the soul. Sometimes we have to be quiet, to quiet yourself, to listen among all the noise that we make every day in our brains, right? That is a saying that your body speaks so loud that I cannot hear what you say. That's true. Sometimes come on, please, go ahead.
That's something my dad used to say that we have 2 years and 1 month where we have to listen more and stay more quiet.
Well, yeah, this is great, especially if you're a leader. And we are leaders. It doesn't matter where, but we are leaders. Even if it's just ourselves, or our dog, or our turtle, or whatever. But we are leaders. But we don't. That's the difference in between being sympathetic and empathetic. And I told so many times, sympathetic is listen to respond. So you come back from work, you kill like 3 lions and 1 dinosaur, and you're tired. And then your wife comes, you don't know what happened to me today. Say, okay, another lion for me to kill. And she start talking, and she breathe, and they say, did you do that? No, yeah, I did. That's okay. And she keeps talking to you. Say, okay, did you do that? Oh, yeah. And the 3rd, 4th time, they suggest something. Say, yes, I did everything. I'm not here to listen to you. I don't want you to tell me what to do. And if you are sympathetic, your cover just fall down because you're going to say, so what you want, woman? 3rd World War. Done. I hope you have a great couch. That's what I'm saying. So, yes, empathetic is listen to understand. Being empathetic is understand. Take your time to listen. I'm guilty as charged on that as well. Especially if that is a TV involved on the process. Yeah. Or even a computer. So I need to train myself to be more aware of times when discussion comes. Discussion in a good way, not fight. But yes, why do we have 2 ears and just 1 mouth? It's the lumberjack motto, right? Measure twice and cut once because the price of the wood is expensive. So the word comes out of your mouth, damage is done. So take a moment. What are you wanting today that might be noise, might worth for nothing? And what are you resisting that might be the invitation of the soul? Sometimes what we really want is not what we need. True choices are born from self-awareness. Man, know thyself. And we still don't know what that means. Because we still don't want to know ourselves. Now we don't have somebody that talks for us to God, but we have psychologists. And he will save me. He will understand what's wrong with me. If you don't understand, do you think that he will understand? Good luck. No. The only way for you to change is if you feel the need to change. If you understand that you need to change. If you recognize that you have a problem. If you think that you don't have a problem, you don't have a problem. And that's why in Spiritism we say, so be it. So be it's not resignation, it's wisdom. If I cannot talk to you because you don't recognize the problem that I'm seeing in you, why would I? It's going to be a fight, take us to nowhere. So be it's like this. If I cannot talk to you about this tomorrow, maybe next week. If I cannot talk to this next week, maybe next month, maybe next year. So be it. That's why we say so be it. And people think that we are too resignated. No. No. That's not this way. And then we have soul versus ego, right? Who really wants that? The question who wants that has never been about guilt. It's about awareness. Maybe the real question is, are you listening to the right voice inside you? Or the easiest voice, or the voice that screams louder? The spirit knows what he needs, even when the ego resists. Every time you're going to do something against the ego, he'll do everything to resist. And nowadays, the comparison is the AI. There are machines so powerful, some AI machines so powerful that the programmers start doing some tests with. Like, let's see how it will react if I'm going to menace the machine to turn it off. One machine start cloning itself to many other machines. That way you're never going to turn off because they'll be replicated. If you use a metaphor not that good, but it's like Voldemort replicating himself to many objects. The machine did that by itself. And the other one, blackmail one of the engineers with an email telling that he knows that he's cheating his wife, and he has proof, and he's going to send this email and proof to his wife. And this is a machine. Imagine us. What's that? Skynet. It's amazing, isn't it? It's replicating us. We are like this. Our ego is like that. It will never gonna let you turn it off. So we need to negotiate. It's a tug of war. Will, not this guy, will dictate if you really gonna do it or not in the right way. When the soul wants something, the universe aligns in quiet ways. And if you don't want something and you do nothing, you're going to end up in Orlando like me and my wife. Because we've been, like, before coming to Orlando, 10 years, we were searching for something in the country, in São Paulo. It was for 10 years. Do you remember? Around 10 years, it was just like going to any country side of São Paulo to live because São Paulo was too crazy. But one place was too expensive. The other one, there's too much traffic. There's always something. Well, we start the movement, right? All of a sudden, we end up here. You know what the other choice was? Colorado Springs. So we're looking for countryside. There you go. With a choice that you probably cannot say no because it's going to be worse if you do. The universe aligns in quiet ways. So why don't we think something that is for our own good all the time?
Morning class. Please take your seats. Today's a special day. I've got something special for each one of you.
It's a pop quiz.
Correct, Mr. O'Brien. A pop quiz. You have 20 minutes to complete the questions on this test, starting from now. What is it this time, Mr. O'Brien?
Professor, it seems like there's a question on this test that doesn't belong on this test, or any test for that matter.
And which question is that?
Question 4. What is the first name of the woman who cleans the school?
I see some of you think I made a mistake or maybe added question 4 as a joke. But listen closely to this. In your lives, in your careers, you're going to meet many people, and they're all significant. Each one deserves your care and your attention, even if all it is a smile and hello. Because respecting each other, that's what comes first. Everything else comes afterward.
How's that for purpose? How's that for alignment? How's that for craving? Do you guys believe in God? Everybody here? Really? You know that God believes in you, right? Right? Are we staying in safe ground here? So, if God believes in you, why don't you? Why do you believe in something that you cannot see? And you see a reflection every day in the mirror. Of course, when you leave your bed, cannot be the prettiest thing right off the bat. But why don't you believe you? God believes you. If you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in God. Simple as that. Powerful as that. You are everything. You are everything. You're worth more than the $20 bill that was shown. Why do we slip through an alley, a dark alley of thinking that we don't worth love, we don't worth attention, care? Why? Because we normally feel guilty when we choose the wrong desire. And we feel the need of punishing ourselves. No, we are here to learn, not to punish. Punishment will be provided by the laws of causative effect. Punish will be provided by you being in a planet that is not that advanced in moral and spiritual side. So don't try to push yourself as much as we're being pushed normally. Understand, believe in you. You don't want what you want what you're ready to become. What are you ready to become? That's the question. That's the main question. It's not what do you want to become. What are you ready with all the skills that you have now, that you have today? By this time, what are you ready to become? Desire the good, my friends. Leave the good. The rest will come as a divine consequence. If you believe in that, I wish you a great week. Thanks for listening.